catch my breath. So I asked Jap Leun, how is my wrestling? It's not good. I lose every time. Can he teach me one thing to improve?
No.
So in this village, does everyone practice wrestling?
No problem. Profit channel got had about Jap Leun. bap.boran we kia had the people ni Khmer the young club in Kipeka Chungbang. Can I meet Chungbang? Young group bap.boran. A rock near everyone learns wrestling.
And when do they practice? When do they fight? When do they compete?
When Chungbang.
Only once a year?
Yeah.
Okay, they have the Chungbang festival, which is when you go to feed the ancestors of the dead. And during that festival, they do the wrestling and the buffalo racing also.
The buffalo racing and the fighting with sticks.
Fighting with sticks. Yeah. They fight in this village with long sticks. It's one of the only places in Cambodia where they're still doing it. For traditional wrestling, there's a national championship.
Yes.
And how many villages or how many teams in the country?
No team, but every Chungbang festival we will come together and fight together.
Okay.
No team. But the people from outside can come and play with us.
Yes. And now Jap Leun and Ling, they live on the wrestling team in Phnom Penh. Is it better to have the modern training? Is that better?
Bong cứ chia kromประจำជាតិមែននៅកីឡាអូឡ িম্প ិក អញ្ចឹងបងគិតថាទទួលបានការរីកចម្រើនយ៉ាងម៉េចដែរចំពោះការដែលយើងចូលទៅធីមនៅខាងនោះអញ្ចឹង This improve their techniques.
Improve their techniques. Yeah. And then do they bring their technique to the village? Teach them?
Yes, take all the techniques and come here to improve their technique in the village.
So is this village the best wrestling village in Cambodia?
Yes.
And what's the name of this village?
Vihiasua.
Okay, I'll come. Man, he's got the real art, the dancing, the whole thing, the real art. Man, I'll come. Interestingly, although the Vietnamese regime ended in 87, 88, the first official championship of wrestling wasn't even held until 2001. But again, if you're rebuilding a country after a war and after a foreign occupation, I think sport might be far down on your list of priorities. We got out of the car and there's like a million of these girls and ladies selling the flowers and offerings, and I couldn't say yes to one and not yes to everybody, so I bought for everybody. I think I bought every flower in the village so nobody can pray today.
He said before buffalo wrestling, he must go here and to respect to the statue here and there.
But the traditional is here. Yeah, so here is traditional, and traditional is you go to the temple before you wrestle. And what do they pray? When they pray, what do they ask?
Asking for happiness.
Asking for happiness?
Yeah.
So they don't ask to win the wrestling?
I don't know. Maybe. Everyone wants to win.
And this is the temple where he always comes for holidays for his family. Bokator, the martial art that I practice in Cambodia, includes wrestling and boxing, and I've actually been in this village before practicing wrestling with these guys. I say practicing, they just beat me up, but because I don't wrestle very well, but that was part of my training for Bokator. I had to learn some of the Khmer wrestling. One of the Olympic trainers, Mr. Kim, is also on the Bokator Association, and he brings wrestling training to the Bokator guys, and they're incorporating that with ground fighting and chokes and submissions. So in a way, the Khmer wrestling is growing because it's incorporated into Bokator, and Bokator is the fastest growing sport in the country, but of course it's not pure wrestling, it's Bokator, so it's a little bit more like mixed martial arts. There are bas-reliefs on temples dating back hundreds of years showing the Khmer wrestling, and there are stories, but I'm not sure how well documented, that basically the king held annual wrestling competitions, and then the winners would be promoted either to high military ranks or to government positions.
Before Lin go to have a fight in the foreign country or in abroad, he must come here and pray for happiness and for winning as well. Every time. But after the praying here is they have a confidence and to win all the fighting.
Behind me is the image of Mun Ai, and he's a very famous general in the Cambodian history. And Ling was explaining to me that in the old days of the tradition is that we would come here and pray before they fight, before they have buffalo racing. And so I think maybe there's a connection between the fighting, wrestling, and then the great general. Hey, I'm Antonio Graceffo. That's it for this episode of Martial Arts Odyssey. We're outside Phnom Penh, Cambodia. We're learning traditional Khmer wrestling. I'm here with Jap Leun, one of the best wrestlers in Cambodia. Jap Leun, Alkunjaran, bro. Okay, as always, at the end of every episode of Martial Arts Odyssey, I tell you, get in the gym, do your sets, do your reps, do your road work, and please say a prayer for the people of Cambodia and the people of Shan State.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.